Bacteria and archaea are often introduced as similar organisms, both are single-celled, both lack a nucleus, and both are found in almost every environment on Earth. That description is not wrong, but it hides a much deeper distinction. These two groups represent an early divergence in the history of life, and the differences between them are not superficial. They extend down to the level of chemistry, molecular machinery, and evolutionary strategy. The separation becomes clear when we look at the cell envelope. In most bacteria, the cell wall is built from peptidoglycan, a polymer that provides mechanical strength and maintains shape. Archaea do not use peptidoglycan. Instead, their cell walls are made from a variety of other materials, including pseudopeptidoglycan and protein-based layers. Because of this, antibiotics that target bacterial cell walls generally do not affect archaea. This is one of the earliest practical observations that indicated a fundamental difference. Membrane chemistry shows an even deeper split. Bacterial membranes are composed of fatty acids linked to glycerol by ester bonds. Archaeal membranes use isoprenoid chains connected by ether bonds. Ether linkages are chemically more stable, especially at high temperatures and extreme pH. Some archaea also form membrane monolayers rather than bilayers, which further increases stability. These features are directly linked to the environments many archaea inhabit. The divergence is not limited to structure. When molecular biologists began comparing genetic systems, they found that several core processes in archaea, such as transcription and translation, share similarities with those of eukaryotes. The enzymes involved, and the way genetic information is processed, differ significantly from bacteria. This was unexpected, because morphologically archaea resemble bacteria. At the molecular level, however, they form a distinct lineage. Ecologically, the two groups show different patterns. Bacteria are widespread across moderate environments and display extensive metabolic diversity. Oxygenic photosynthesis, nitrogen fixation, and many other biochemical pathways are primarily associated with bacterial lineages. These processes have had large-scale effects on Earth's atmosphere and ecosystems. Archaea are also widely distributed, including in soils and oceans, but a significant number of well-studied species are adapted to extreme conditions. High temperature, high salinity, and low pH environments often contain archaeal communities that function efficiently under conditions that inhibit many bacterial systems. In addition, certain metabolic pathways, such as methanogenesis, are unique to archaea. These pathways play an important role in anaerobic ecosystems. The relationship between these two domains is not one of direct competition in a simple sense. Instead, they represent different biochemical solutions that have coexisted for billions of years. In some environments they overlap, in others they are separated by physiological limits. Their interaction is better understood as a distribution of ecological roles rather than a continuous conflict. One of the most significant developments in evolutionary biology came from studying this distinction. Based on molecular evidence, Carl Woese proposed the three-domain system: bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. This framework replaced earlier classifications and highlighted that prokaryotic life is not a single uniform category. There is also a deeper connection. Current evidence suggests that eukaryotic cells originated through a symbiotic association involving an archaeal host and a bacterial endosymbiont that eventually became the mitochondrion. This event links both domains directly to the origin of complex life. Recent research continues to expand our understanding of archaea. Newly identified lineages, including those within the Asgard group, contain genes previously thought to be restricted to eukaryotes. These findings are being used to refine models of how cellular complexity evolved. Bacteria and archaea are therefore not minor variations of the same design. They are distinct outcomes of early evolutionary divergence, each with its own structural logic, biochemical pathways, and ecological roles. Understanding the differences between them is essential for understanding how life diversified at its most fundamental level.